Time for another fragrance review. Okay, time for another fragrance review before I go to bed. I'm gonna do a few from Mancera today, and I'll do one from Atelier cologne or whatever. I kind of like lost my voice there, going through puberty again. Puberty, I guess again. So the first one from Mancera today, I'm gonna do Black Prestigium. I guess if you guys have any kind of an idea what fragrances I like, you probably know that I'm not a big fan of powdery fragrances, violet fragrances in general, and this one is basically kind of like grandma busted a violet baby powder nut in your face, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to waste my time talking about it. Not my kind of vibe, dude. Super, not a big fan of violets. Candy, violets, baby powder, all over your face, dude. Not my kind of thing. The next one, let's do oud vanille. This is one that I'm gonna say that I think I was a little surprised by the community that a lot of the community I think likes it a lot, and I'm kind of surprised by how wearable they talk that it is because I think this one actually going by the notes are not that surprising. Like when I look at the notes and I actually wore it, I'm like, okay, I could see this, right? And by that I mean because the opening I think is a little harsh, dude. Like you can definitely smell the black pepper, and this like oud, if it's real oud, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that argument. I don't really care. But it's potentially pretty harsh at the beginning, I think, and potentially a little off-putting. Doesn't last too long, but maybe the first hour or two, I think, is again potentially kind of harsh and out there. Um, as it dries down, it gets more creamy and you get more of the vanilla. But even as it's drying down, there's still a very strong, I guess, if we're talking about wood, like Gaiac wood, kind of reminds me of something like we were thinking of vanilla and Gaiac wood kind of fragrances. For some reason, I should really wear some of these other fragrances that I'm going to compare this to, right? Is it Le Labo 44? I think it is, right? That had there's a lot of Gaiac wood in it as well. Am I correct on that? It's been a while since I wore that one because I don't really care for it. But yeah, so kind of makes this Gaiac wood in this is very strong but it's better because it's not exactly harsh like the beginning. But the sandalwood comes out, it's much more creamy and wearable. So overall, the beginning of this is a little harsh and a little kind of out there, but then as it transitions, it becomes more wearable, more yummy, if you will. And someone actually said they told me they thought I smelled like someone put burnt sugar in a tobacco pipe. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and I'll kind of go with that too. So you might be able to think of something like that. So think of something like almost, I guess, think of if you have a tobacco pipe, but you burnt sugar in the tobacco pipe, but also like there's like little wood. You got some like oud wood, bitter chocolate, charred wood that burnt in this. There's no tobacco, obviously, but so burnt sugar, some burnt wood, with maybe sometimes vanilla and wood. When you mix it together, it can kind of smell a little bit of a chocolatey nuance, but it's just burnt and charred, right? Do you get what I'm kind of saying? Anyway, like most Manceras and Montals, if you like the smell though, the performance is very good. I wore it today and I only did 2 sprays and it's was it almost like one or something? And earlier today and I can still smell a bubble around me, dude. So it's pretty good. So yeah, a little harsh at the beginning, gets better, more creamy, more delicious, I guess, if you will, but still not my kind of vibe in the grand scheme of things. As someone that likes a lot of vanilla fragrances, I don't feel inclined to ever buy this. It's okay, but I like vanilla fragrances, so if it's only okay, I wasn't super impressed personally. Next one that's been getting a lot of talk in the fragrance community for a while was red tobacco. I agree with a lot of the comments on red tobacco that a lot of people are saying that the opening is out there, and I agree. The opening even kind of smells kind of like a hay note. It smells kind of weird, right? I think this whole thing is basically a mess, in my opinion, of just a bunch of different things stuck together. Because after you get rid of this like weird opening, it starts to transition into a harsher, almost amber narguilé, whatever it is. Who makes that? Hermes makes that, right? I feel, and that's like a lot of fragrances are kind of doing that, right? It's because it's got kind of that apple cinnamon pie kind of smell to it. But this would be more along the lines of Perfumes de Marly's Ojan, which is also kind of like a amber narguilé, but a harsher version. And if you're going from the aspect of a harsher amber narguilé, I actually think Ojan just smells better. But getting that out of the way. So after you get rid of this like first out there opening that smells like a whole bunch of weird stuff, right? Like even like hay at times. It starts to transition to a harsher amber narguilé, but with sort of a almost kind of like a jammy, sparkly pastiness to it. And again, I don't really like pasty fragrances, but there's almost kind of like a jammy or pastiness to this as well. I know some people like it. I don't care for it. But imagine that this jam and paste is kind of like sparkly from the fruits in it. There's even almost like a fruit punchiness to it that tingles your nose, right? So like a sparkly fruit punchy amber, harsher amber narguilé. There's a bit jammy and pasty. And then after it goes from that, then it starts to smell kind of like a pure Havana flanker or something, right? But instead of like the Styrax that tingles your nose and pure Havana, you got this kind of fruit punchy, jammy, pasty, whatever is going on. But anyway, so the dry down kind of smells like pure Havana a little bit. But if you do take in a deep breath in the dry down, like a thick, deep breath, you smell that sort of amber mix that is rubbery and plasticky, kind of. I'm not saying that's bad, but just kind of what you get, I think, when you've taken a deep breath. But just from a little whiff, pure Havana. You're like, dude, Clayton, what the fuck does it smell like, dude? What the fuck does it smell like? I don't know what the fuck it smells like. I think it just smells fucking weird. It's just a whole bunch. I think it's a mess. Some people like it. Some people think it smells. I think it's almost universally agreed that it smells kind of weird at the beginning, right? But yeah, whatever, dude. So yeah, on the subject of all these amber things that are like apple cinnamon pie things. You know what I mean? I'm not even that. I think that if you just want an apple cinnamon pie thing, novelty wise, I think amber narguilé, just go with that. But I think Ojan smells like a harsher amber narguilé. It smells better than amber narguilé. And then I also think that, of course, 1 Million Privé, the very beginning of that, has almost an apple cinnamon kind of pie kind of vibe. And then that and then that like dries down into like a buttery tonka kind of thing that is more delicious, right? And that's also got like a cherry bubblegum vibe that I like. So I actually think that one smells better than all of these, but of course the performance on that is kind of like shit, right? I have never smelled. Is it Daniel Jose? Daniel Josers? Daniel Jose's? I'm saying your name wrong, dude. I don't know your name. It's not personal. I know he has that fragrance that I want to smell amber tobacco because amber and tobacco, that smells great. It makes me think of Dolce & Gabbana, but one, I guess. Whenever I think amber tobacco, just fucking delicious. But some people say that smells like, apple cinnamon pie too, and like amber narguilé. So I've never smelled that one because it's just like, does it really smell like that? Do I need another fragrance that smells like that, dude? I don't know. I've been thinking about sampling it, but the sample costs like $10 to even ship to America. So it's like, dude, I don't got time. I don't got money to keep spending all this. I'm in the hospital half the time. I can't even fucking wear this stuff around girls or just for myself, right? I mean, come on. Anyway, I would like to smell that one eventually, but I haven't. Besides that, the last one I'm gonna do is, because people know I like coffee fragrances, I'm gonna do Atelier Cologne's Cafe Tuberosa. And a quick subject of coffee fragrances, in case anyone doesn't know. I know I posted this, I think, on Base Notes and Fragrantica, I think. A few months ago, or maybe even longer, Barista Legendary, which I think, and a lot of other people have agreed, is the best coffee fragrance if you're going just for kind of like novelty that reminds you of like coffee. They got bought out by a different company, dude. So I hope you guys saved your bottle because the bottles they like reformulated and everything for that. And like so they used to be like 100 mils for like I think $90, right? Now it's like 60 mils for like $500 or some crap. Some of their bottles are $1,000, dude. So I wish I didn't get on a split. I wish I would have kept my full bottle because yeah, dude. I hope if you didn't smell Barista's Legendary already, you're screwed, dude. So don't know what to tell you, but there's also a fragrance from like Poland called Boho Boko Coffee White Flowers. I don't know if anyone's ever smelled it. Let me know how it is, guys, because I want to smell it. But anyway. Atelier cologne. Um, Cafe Tuberosa that came out recently. I know a lot of people have said they liked it, but going by the name is kind of like dangerous, right? Because cafe, like, okay, does it actually smell like coffee and like a cafe? But then you see like tuberosa, do I smell like a grandma? Right. Well, I will say, thankfully, the first half hour of this, probably not even an hour of this, unfortunately, does really smell like coffee. And I was like, whoa, this is actually good. Like, I don't smell like a grandma. I'm not getting a lot of tuberose or whatever, right? But sadly, it only lasts for like, I don't know, a half hour, maybe an hour. It does not last long on me, dude. And then it just goes away. And then the tuberose does come out. And it's not strong enough that I think it's feminine enough to be unwearable. I don't think you smell like a grandma. But it definitely, the name comes out. Cafe Tuberose, the tuberosa comes out. Tuberose comes out, right? So not unwearable by a man, but it definitely gets feminine, I think. And sadly for me, the coffee that actually really actually does smell like coffee, which I was kind of happy about, does not last long. After the tuberose goes away, you just kind of get like a sweet kind of floral kind of thing. Again, not too feminine. It's wearable by as a man, but the tuberose goes away, so it's much more pleasant to me, I guess. But overall, a little disappointing. But you know what you're getting with the name, right? So you gotta be. I wasn't totally shocked. Kind of went in like whatever happens, right? Hey, Sarasana. Isn't that a song, right? So, whatever it is. Anyway, that's another fragrance video. I know people have actually been watching stuff for video games. So if you accidentally click this for video games, there is more video game stuff to come. I got lots of crap that I could always put up, but I just, I don't feel like putting up videos just to like put up like, I know like people do that like on Twitter and stuff, but I don't care about just putting up one combo showing something new. I like putting out full videos, right? I mean, it's like boring just to put out like just random things. I want to put out full videos, so whatever. When it comes, right? Thanks for watching. Pray for my fucking hair to grow back. God damn it. And I know I got a lot of doctor stuff too, so I'm kind of worried about all that stuff. So I don't know the next video game video really. Whenever it comes, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching. And